going back to your original question, yes, this was a good win. Now it's what I'd like to see them do is go to Miami and put Miami away pretty easily before going to Pittsburgh. I would say next week against a Miami team that's not very good, to me, next week is going to be more of an indication of what this Patriots team is or how I'm going to feel about them kind of moving forward. Because like I said, at home, I expect them to do this. But next week, if they can go down to Miami and put them away, that'll give me some confidence going into Pittsburgh, saying, okay, they played well on the road. Even though Miami's not a good team, but still, we've seen them, every team they play on the road, whether they were good or bad, they struggled with.
Wiggy, how can they suck down there in Miami so obviously?
It's I think it's one of those divisional opponents. It's the same way they go there and struggle with the Jets, and sometimes they struggle with Buffalo. It's just one of those things that, Brady and the team, struggled down in Miami. I don't know what it is. And think about it, a couple years ago, I remember they needed to go down to Miami. And win a game to get home field. And remember that game? They're going to call holding on Gronkowski. And remember the game they went to Miami and they lost that game and they lost home field?
Yeah.
So
yeah, sure. In 13, when they went down there with that running game plan. Yeah, that wasn't a Miami thing. That was just a stupid game plan.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it's a stupid game plan, but I've always seen them. I knew they were going to call. Why just let him go right here? Let him go.
Right, he's gone.
Let him go. He's had a couple holding penalties today, Gronk.
He's had 3 penalties today.
So, I think next week is going to be a big one. I think next week to me is going to be more of an indicator than this game. I like what they did, but next week going to Miami, that's going to be more of an indicator for who they are.
So we kind of agree. You said Felger and Maz are going to do the Minnesota Vikings sucks thing.
I'm not. What sucks?
No. I mean, they have good talent. All right, so you beat a team with a lot of talent that had come off, that was playing well. So I'll give you credit for that, but I still think they got to prove themselves on the road.
Minnesota's a good team, but like you said, it's you watch Minnesota, and it's like it's the inconsistency of these teams. Like, say what you want about the Pats, right? They got 3 losses this year. They've struggled on the road, but for the most part, I will at least say that they're consistent, even when they're not playing that good against because they still won games on the road. Even when they're not playing that good and they won, like they beat the Jets or whatever, to me, they're just like a consistent team because when you look at what they are, like, I feel like we're watching these other teams. One week they look like, wow, they look like world beaters, and the next week they look like shit. At least the Pats are always like, they're good. They might tail off a little bit, but they're still good. I don't know. I'm just not sold on a lot of these teams in the NFL. I feel like the Pats, man, they're gonna roll through it once the playoffs come.